Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, it might be happening again. We don't want to jump the gun on this, but there is some very big concerns about another Princess cruise ship. So here's what we know so far. The Grand Princess is on its way back to San Francisco after it found out and was reported to be that a passenger on the previous cruise that got off on February 21st, so about 14 days ago, passed away from the illness. And that's what's causing the big uproar right now, as they're tracing it back and found out he was on the ship. So one of the big reasons about that, because it's been almost 14 days, most people should have been, this incubation period should have been over, but some of the people that were on that cruise did a back-to-back. So there are about, just under 100 people or so that were under the watchful eye now, shall you say, of the medical authorities that they want to test and they want to check out before they let that ship dock anywhere. So the ship was on its way to Mexico and it turned around and now it's on its way back to San Francisco, but it won't be allowed to dock yet because they're awaiting those test kits to be flown out by helicopter, at which time the medical staff on board, as well as other medical staff that are also going to be flown out by helicopter, will administer the test. The people who were on the previous cruise have already been put into their cabins. However, the other people are free to roam around and enjoy the ship, which kind of thinks to me that that might not be the best idea, even though it's, people's vacations and stuff like that, because those people have been in contact with the other people that they just put in the cabins during this cruise at some point. So that doesn't mean it hasn't gone to them and now they're just out wandering around. They may start passing it on to other people. So I'm not quite sure, but Princess is doing what the authorities told them to do. They told them to take the people who were on the other cruise and put them in their cabins and wait for the test kits. As of right now, Princess has reported that on board, about 21 people on board have come down with symptoms. Not symptoms of this. It can be cold symptoms, a flu symptoms, stomach flu, whatever it is. Those kind of symptoms, and those people will also be checked even if they weren't part of the previous cruise. So it's, another situation. Now, best case scenario, nothing happens, everybody comes positive, they come back to shore and everything's grand. Sorry for the pun, I didn't mean to do that. Everything's grand on the Grand Princess. So I didn't mean to do that, but it just came out. However, worst case scenario is you have another situation like you did in Japan. And if you have that situation, you can rest assured they probably won't keep everybody on this ship like they did there, as things just kept mounting and mounting and mounting, and it got worse and worse and worse the longer everyone was in that closed, confined space in that area. So now becomes the question of what do they do? There's 2,500 people on that cruise ship. Not to mention the crew. So you have to figure out what to do with that many people, because they all have to be kept separate from everybody else and they can't be allowed into general population. They can't be allowed into different areas. So it's going to be one of those things to see if we are prepared for this situation or not. The California governor has already issued an emergency, and he has said that they are working with the WHO, the World Health Organization, and getting ready for this and flying out those kits and what to do in the case, and putting together all sorts of scenarios. But you can rest assured one of the things that they're not going to want to do is have another Princess cruise ship sitting in a dock with a bunch of people on it, like that happened in Japan. Because if it starts going out of control again, there'll be heads to roll in some situations because we were already blaming the health officials in Japan for the way they handle things. We don't want to make the exact same mistakes here. We should have learned from the mistakes over there and corrected them in time for now. Now we prepare to find out if we are prepared for this situation or not. And let's just hope best case scenario wins out. Best case scenario is everyone's fine and we come back to the shore. Worst case scenario, all those people are not fine, and now we have another situation on our hands, as it is going around and round with all other places. Because right now, there's still no travel bans on a lot of places. For instance, here in Canada, we just had two people in Ontario confirmed. One just came back from Iran, one just came back from Italy, and those are two places we know that they should not have come back from. Yet there's no travel restrictions right now. So until they start those travel restrictions and monitoring people in those areas from coming, this might just keep getting worse and worse. And I don't know what to say about it. I'm still going cruising. That's not going to stop me. If I have to spend more days on a ship, I'll spend more days on a ship, I guess. But it's very disheartening to hear, especially again, it's another passenger who had already left the ship that contracted this. Now the big thing is, if this person just passed away and he got off the ship 14 days ago, why did it take so long for them to notify the cruise ship? Did they not ask, where have you been, once they knew the person had this, or did it like this? I don't think it was an immediate thing. It's a build-up progression. So far, I haven't heard of anything of instant. So there should have been plenty of time to ask family and friends and where the person had been. And the minute they said on a cruise ship, they should have been informing that cruise ship so they could take steps. But they didn't. And that could be another question, what we're wondering, lack of response time and lack of basic accountability, really. Well, it's not great news for the cruising industry, but I thought I should share it with you. I will keep you up to date as much as I can with what we know, what's going on. Another rough day in the cruising industry. I can't wait till I can just talk about the fun parts of cruising again. Well, I hope you appreciate this news update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.